Thank you, Kelly. I know you guys have been sitting, listening to a lot, so I just want to start with a quick question for you guys. When you feel like you're kind of lacking in an area, you're not good enough, you're fearful, do any of you feel the need to try to control it? Anyone ever? Anyone with me? Yeah? Okay. The rest of you will talk about lying in church later, but... So I came from a family line of high control women. They seemed strong, but on the inside, they were actually really broken. I'm an only child, and thinking about this talk, I actually remembered my parents. They would say that they only had one child because they got perfection the first time, which I'm sure I was a sweet child, but of course, not perfect. And so that kind of shaped my identity and what I tried to be. We moved around a lot when I was little. In fact, 5th and 6th grade was the first time I was at the same school for back-to-back years. So had to make new friends every single year. I couldn't control anything about where we moved, anything like that. And so I just became the nice, smart girl that got good grades. And that was continued in ministry. My dad was a pastor. Really, really unhealthy ministry. Grace shared a little bit about that. We have a lot in common in that way. But the idea was that everyone else needs help but your family, that you're supposed to be perfect and just pour out, and that's just not sustainable. It was anti-counseling. That was kind of like a bad word growing up. And it was for people who were really, really bad off or went through those capital T traumas. Then as I went through my life, dating, guys would kind of come and go, and I would feel the need to be prettier, smarter, more interesting, more accomplished, and with that through my career. So I used to work in college and professional athletics. It was all about achievements, networking, bylines, who you were and who you knew and what you had done. And it was just going to a cycle. It just got to be way too much. And so about 4 years ago, God started to lead me into a completely different season. I switched careers, actually, and now get the honor of working here at Trinity, working in ministry, which I said I would never do. But in the words of the great theologian Justin Bieber, never say never. And, seeing never now is, saying never. It's an inner vow. And if you haven't read Pastor Mark and Grace's book, Win Your War, it talks a lot about inner vows and generational curses and things I never knew that there were names for. And then soon after that, I met my husband 2 months after I started here at Trinity. We got married almost 2 years ago. And I really want to publicly honor him because he shows me a picture of God's unshakable love that I've never known.
He did his testimony on Sunday.
Yeah, if you guys are here this weekend,
everybody saw that.
His was the testimony video. So he's seen me at my worst. He's seen me at my best. And, he says, I'm not going anywhere. And that it's kind of a little tiny glimpse of how God sees us. And then I did go to counseling, and I actually graduated counseling. Huge fan of counseling, and I think we could all benefit from it in some shape or form. You don't have to have gone through some crazy traumatic thing. It's just looking at family systems, and we've been going through Genesis, there's not condemnation in what your family has given you, but that you don't want to continue some of those things. So for me, wanting to achieve, be perfect, the word no is very helpful, and that's something to learn. And it helps you to be healthy for the people who really are important. And also, all that to say, achievements are not a bad thing at all, but it's the reason you're doing it. If it's your identity, if it's getting in the way of God, that's kind of the issue. So just a couple final thoughts. As I was preparing for this, I know we've heard social media is very bad, and there's a lot of very bad, but I was just doing a little scrolling this week as I was preparing, and I did see a really good quote that says, if you want God to open and close doors, let go of the doorknob. So, a lot of times we are like, yes, God, I give it all to you. And they're like, but maybe not all of it. So just getting out of the way, just trusting him. So I just want to leave it with the words of Jesus. John 14:27, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid.